dominated the game as few players in any sport ever have. Will was capable of scoring and rebounding at will. He accomplished one of the NBA's greatest feats of all time, scoring 100 points in a single game. Led the Lakers past the New York Knicks the year they brought their first title to Los Angeles.
And it's off target, but Chamberlain there to clean.
Welcome everyone to sunny Los Angeles, California, back in the early 70s, as the NBA on 2K Sports relives this classic matchup between two championship teams. The balanced and savvy defensive-minded New York Knicks with Walt Clyde Frazier and the great Jerry Lucas. They'll face off against the Los Angeles Lakers and their devastating superstar tandem of Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West.
And this game is full of interesting matchups, but I'll be locked in with isolated camera on the battle inside between the Herculean Big Dipper, Wilt Chamberlain, versus Ohio's own, the remarkably talented rebounder and shooter, Jerry Lucas.
Should be fun to watch, and of course the Knicks also have Willis Reed off the bench, another dominant big man in his own right.
Yeah, a deep New York team. We'll see if that plays a role. And then, of course, you have the matchup between Walt Frazier and Jerry West, the primary playmakers for their teams and both outstanding defenders. Two greats going head-to-head.
Yeah, and this one, it's one of those games that both teams would have had circled on the calendar. They need no pep speeches to get up for this one.
And now let's go over the starting lineups for the Lakers. The high-scoring backcourt of Jerry West and Gail Goodrich. Jim McMillan and Ellis are the forwards. And the big man in the middle, Wilt Chamberlain. And on the other side for the New York Knicks, going up against Chamberlain inside will be the 6'9", Jerry Lucas. Bill Bradley and Dave Bush are the forwards. And in the backcourt, Dick Barnett and Walt Clyde Frazier.
Well, the stories about Wilt Chamberlain are many. I mean, his strength, it was like Paul Bunyan. If a teammate fell to the floor, he'd pick him up and set him on his feet like he was picking up a toddler. But we're talking about a guy who could weigh well over 200 pounds. That's pretty amazing stuff.
Knocks it loose. And here we go. Barnett passes to Bradley. It's off his foot. And the ref saying he kicked it. Here is DeBusschere. Frazier dishes to Lucas. Back to Frazier. Over West. A nice shot by Frazier. And Clark, like you were saying for Chamberlain, you know, he just needed to be strong to weather, if nothing else, the pounding he took. And Steve, he took a pounding.
He did. I mean, he was kind of the original Shaq. You know, the way he dominated games with his physical play, and then the poor free throw shooting as well. So teams' defensive game plan was basically just foul him and send him to the free throw line. But he was phenomenal at both ends of the floor.
Great touch by Bradley on the jumper.
Now you see the great passing. I mean, that was a trademark for this Knicks offense. Constant motion, kind of an unspoken connection between the players. They really worked well as a unit. Chamberlain, such an amazing skill. Fourth all-time in NBA history. But per game, he's right there at the top with Michael Jordan at over 30 a game.
You know, Willis Reed may get all the attention for his appearance in Game 7 of the 1970 Finals, but that game was all Walt Frazier. 36 points, 19 dimes, 5 steals. Remarkable. If it wasn't for Clyde, they don't beat the Lakers.
Here's Goodrich, and the Lakers tack on 2 more.
And, you know, one of the things that made Gail Goodrich so good was he was quick, he was strong, he was fast, and being left-handed, he seemed to catch defenders off guard. Defenders generally aren't as accustomed to guarding lefties, and it changes the angle you have to take with your footwork.
Here is Lucas, after the basket by the Lakers. Here's McMillan. Here's West. Quick release from Jerry West.
That shot was possible because of Jerry West's super quick release.
West against Frazier. West picks him up.
Bill Bradley was a Rhodes Scholar at Princeton, also the College Player of the Year in 1965, and he spent his entire 10-year career with the Knicks.
New York, no good that time either. Chamberlain with it. He's against Lucas. Stolen away.
Boy, nice job to get his hand in there and knock that ball loose without fouling.
And the first one drops. Some changes for the Lakers. Baylor comes in for Ellis. And Erickson subbed in for McMillan. And then for New York, Jackson comes in for Bradley. And Monroe subbed in for Frazier. So it's the Lakers now. Here's a quick shot. Just take a look at the range of Jerry West. And at this point in the game, no three-point line.
Yeah, pre-1980s, if you shot one up from long range, it wasn't normally a high-efficiency type of shot.
Yeah, no question. I mean, the game has totally changed now since the advent of that three-point shot. Defenses now are more spread out. More and more players are firing from the three-point line. So it's changed the way offenses have played big time.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And Bill Bradley, was an all-star back in '73, Steve, just to kind of pick up on what you were talking about. He was a gold medalist in '64. And, of course, outside of basketball, a three-term senator for New Jersey.
Here's Monroe. Jerry West making his last shot. Now Monroe. Here's Lucas. Cans it from short range. Lucas has got his first 2 points of the night. And here are the Lakers.
And you talk about the great players on this Lakers team. I mean, 4 of these guys have their jerseys in the rafters of the Staples Center now. Baylor, West, Wilt, and Goodrich. This is a team to remember.
And the Knicks with the ball. Following the basket made by Wilt Chamberlain. DeBusschere passes to Barnett. Clock at 6. Erickson with the rebound. The Lakers in the lead. And here's Chamberlain. He's got 6. He's against Lucas. Wilt rises up. Chamberlain with the basket. Chamberlain got 8.
That's where you like to get shots, inside and close to the hoop.
Monroe. And he knocks down the jumper. He gets it up. Cannot hit. A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Lakers lead by 2.
And I like what they've done up.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far.
And Wilt Chamberlain had his share of nicknames over the years. Wilt the Stilt being one of them. How about Goliath? He really didn't like that one very much. His favorite was actually the Big Dipper.
They've got Robinson. Baylor is out there with Johnson. Then there's Erickson. And it's Goodrich in at the 2. That's the Laker 5. Bradley kicks to Monroe. Over Baylor. Monroe's shot is good. Monroe's got the first basket of the second quarter for the Knicks.
And they called him the Big Dipper, Steve, Wilt Chamberlain. That nickname actually came from his friends back during his school days. I mean, they always saw him dipping his head when he went through doorways. For your information, doorways typically are only about 6'8". I've got to duck through some of them. And that's how he got the name Big Dipper, dipping beneath door frames.
Jackson up top. He's guarded by Johnson. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Monroe. Oh, that's blocked. And the Lakers have possession. Here's Goodrich. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Nice time to use that foul to stop the layup.
If you can save just 1 point, that foul was the right move.
And, the funny thing about Gail Goodrich, he was so valuable to the Lakers as a player, but they also made the most of him in a huge trade. They sent him to New Orleans back when he was 33 years old, and the draft pick they got back for him eventually turned into Magic Johnson.
Lucas kicks to Reed. Johnson on him. Pass to Rackley. And stolen by Goodrich.
Great defensive work right there. The quick hands lead to the turnover.
Here's Baylor, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Elgin Baylor, an 11-time All-Star, a Hall of Famer, and also an underrated rebounder.
Well, he was terrific on the glass. How about as an undersized forward, Steve, he averaged over 13 rebounds a game for his career.
Frazier kicks to Lucas. Reed is guarded by Johnson. Bill Bradley on the wing. Robinson picks him up. All sorts of time. Gets the bucket. Lucas has got his second bucket.
And we see Jerry Lucas showing off that incredible touch, and that's what he was really known for. A big man who could shoot the ball from the outside, and that really spread defenses out and allowed his teammates, guys like Earl Monroe and Clyde Frazier, to have driving lanes to get to the hoop.
Back to Frazier. Robinson picks him up. Frazier the pass to Rackley. Johnson's there. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And Wilt, Clyde Frazier, as he was known, one of the seminal players in Knicks history, led that franchise to a championship. And of course, known not only for his work on the court, but for being a fashion icon in the 70s as well.
Well, I think he was fashionable, he had flair, and he was fundamentally flawed. So, a 7-time All-Star, a 7-time All-Defense first team, and he led the Knicks to both of the franchise's 2 titles.
Reed against Chamberlain. Offensive rebound. Rackley snatched down by Chamberlain. Lakers leading by 4. Chamberlain backing down. Chamberlain dunks it down. Here is Frazier. Robinson picks him up. Frazier dishes to DeBusschere. Reed. He feeds it to Frazier. Over Robinson. And Walt Frazier the basket on the assist from Reed. Frazier's got 6.
And Willis Reed at 6'10", 240. Played some power forward, but really preferred the center spot.
Yeah, you know what? He was a physical guy. He loved to bang inside. He and Frazier made the Knicks the best defensive team in the league in the early 70s.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
Well, he's had enough of that lackadaisical defense. They've got to help on penetration and deny all of these points in the paint.
And I think what really stands out about Clyde Frazier was his size for a point guard at 6'4". Combined with his quickness, that really made him special.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Baylor comes in for Erickson, and McMillan subbed in for Robinson. Then for the Knicks, Lucas is checked in for Reed, Jackson comes in for Rackley, and Bradley subbed in for DeBusschere. McMillan against Barnett. 6 to shoot. Jackson passes to Barnett. Over Baylor. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Here's West. 6-point game. Easy shot. The effortless deep jumper from West.
Jerry West, one of the greatest long-range shooters of his era.
Knicks trail by 8. Here's Barnett. Bill Bradley on the wing. The dish to Lucas. Guarded by Chamberlain. Just 4 to shoot. With 1 on the clock. The Lakers with the rebound.
You know, you look at Wilt Chamberlain on this Lakers team, and I'm reminded how many great centers have worn that jersey. You look at the Laker history, and you think of Wilt Chamberlain, you think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, and even Pau Gasol. So the Lakers have made a habit of really securing talent, especially on the front line.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Ellis against Barnett. Up with it. Rebounded by Ellis. Got it off in time. No good on the buzzer beater. And that does it for the first half of play. More from Los Angeles after this. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. The Lakers control the tip. And New York looking at who they got. We've got Debuscher. Barnett is out there at Frazier. Then it's Lucas. And it's Bradley in at the small forward. Here is Frazier.
And, you know, you think about Wilt Chamberlain, guys, all the scoring titles, the incredible rebounding numbers. It seems amazing that he only won 2 championships.
Well, you know what, guys? Winning championships is more about teams than individual brilliance. One incredible player can't always make it happen in terms of championships. But this talented Lakers team, one of those with which he broke through and won the title.
And it goes out of bounds following the shot. Lakers leading by 12. Ring shot on the way. And the basket by West. West has got 12 points in the game.
Boy, this is scary. You get a score rolling like this, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that on an island. I mean, you got to bring some help.
Barnett against Goodrich. Barnett, no good.
Well, not a bad effort there.
He'll usually knock that one down.
Well, for as pure an offensive player as Clyde Frazier was, he could really wreak havoc defensively. Some of the fastest hands you'll ever see.
Well, the 71-72 Lakers not only won the title, they set a record that still stands today with 33 straight wins. That's a remarkable achievement, guys.
Baylor, he's checked in for the Lakers.
Well, going back to the Lakers, Clark, and that season that they had back in 71-72, 69 wins in the regular season, a 33-game winning streak. I don't think that will ever be duplicated.
From 11 feet away. Nice shot by McMillan. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And you look at the history of the New York Knicks, they're a founding member of the NBA back when it was called the Basketball Association of America in 1946.
Here's Barnett. He's got 5. Money shot. Fall back, baby. Dick Barnett with the pretty J. Lakers leading by 13. Chamberlain down low. He's against Lucas. Well, speaking of the Knicks origins, they and the Celtics, the only founding teams that are still in their original cities.
And the team named the Knickerbockers was actually a name used for the descendants of the first Dutch settlers of New York. A lot of history and tradition for this team.
Baylor defending. A 10-footer. Rebound the Lakers. Chamberlain got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Shoots from 12. Big D hauls it in.
Well, when you think about Detroit basketball, you think blue collar. And Dave Debuscher really exemplified that with his hard-nosed play.
Monroe's checked in for Barnett. Here's Monroe.
And Earl the Pearl Monroe, a good story there. He and Clyde Frazier, who eventually became teammates and won a championship together in New York, they were actually bitter rivals early in their careers. Monroe, who was drafted by Baltimore, they'd go at it. He and Frazier would go at it every time they'd meet. But eventually they became teammates and friends and really a dynamic backcourt duo.
Yeah, I'd agree with all of that, Steve. You know, you think about it, competitors want to go at each other when they're in different uniforms, but they also enjoy playing with other good players. Frazier said, he's fire, speaking of Monroe, and I'm ice. They combined to win a title in 73.
A nice shot by Frazier.
That's Clyde Frazier for you fellas. I mean, he has the combination all basketball players would love to have. The perfect blend of size and quickness.
Here's Monroe. And an intentional foul right there.
have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
LSU's checked in for the Lakers.
Earl Monroe out of little Winston-Salem State University, but he achieved instant stardom in the NBA. He averaged over 24 points a game in his first season when he won the Rookie of the Year award.
Knicks trail by 13. And it's Chamberlain finishing it off.
You can't say enough about his individual performance. I don't think you can overstate it. I mean, even if the all-around team effort's been lacking, this guy's been on top of things.
And Monroe really a trailblazer stylistically for the game.
Yeah, he was a improvisational jazz artist, if you will. I mean, he had flow and creativity that we hadn't seen, the spins and the up and unders and all of the twirls and so forth. Made an immediate splash. He went on to 4 All-Star selections and was part of a title team with the Knicks in '73.
Now Monroe kicks to Frazier. Frazier right side. Shot clock at 6. Fires it up, and he drops that one in. Frazier's got 10.
Well, it's really hard to defend when you're trying to recover from turning the ball over.
Yeah, that's because you can't get back in transition, and the offense can just come down and get an easy look on you. And that's why you push the ball. You score before the defense has a chance to set up.
Exactly. They had the defense on its heels that time.
Monroe was a playground legend in Philadelphia. He was known for his fluid style and fancy dribbling, and eventually became such a key player for those Knicks teams.
Yeah, and you know, guys, he was dubbed many nicknames, but the one that I kind of like is Thomas Edison for all the dribble moves that he invented. He was absolutely a magician when the ball was in his hand.
And so they foul intentionally.
And for Jerry Lucas, his legend is really enhanced by his intelligence. Very successful businessman who wrote books on improving memory. His interests extended way beyond the basketball court.
And at times for Lucas, with all his outside pursuits, it seemed Clark's focus on basketball wavered a bit.
But you know what? He was successful at every level. My dad told me about his stellar high school career because he went to high school about the same time as my dad did in Ohio. He was the first American to win titles in high school, college, the NBA, and the Olympics. That is special.
Now here's Lucas. 5 points in the game. Here's Barnett. Left side Jackson. Goes straight up. Monroe floating to the rim for the easy 2.
You see that as soon as there was an opening, he threaded the pass right through it.
Right up. Blocked. Knicks trail by 14. Here's Barnett. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. 9 points in the game so far.
Well, I like the way he fed that ball inside with precision there.
He was going to have to get lucky to make that one.
Young fella, I think there was a much better option available that time.
And there's an intentional foul, but I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Yeah, tough to explain that one. It looks like he just lost his focus.
And he makes the first. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Just 4 seconds left in the third. Got a piece of it. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. We're seeing a tremendous game from Wilt Chamberlain.
He's finishing strong at the rim.
The career of Wilt Chamberlain, almost unbelievable, the types of numbers and records that he set. I mean, you could just go on and on. You could fill up a whole book with his record.
You sure could. You got the 100-point game. How about the season he averaged better than 50 points per game? He led the league in rebounding for 11 of his 14 seasons. And his imprint on this game will live on forever.
Ellis is out there with Chamberlain. Then there's West. Then it's Goodrich, and it's Baylor in at the small forward position. That's the Laker 5. Reed kicks to Frazier. Over West. shot by Frazier, no good.
Chamberlain, the all-time rebounding leader at just shy of 23 per game and almost 24,000 for his career. Amazing numbers. He also holds the record with 55 rebounds in one game.
He's really taking the initiative to score the basketball inside now.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, before the introduction of the three-point line, having a great player who could score in the paint was such a huge advantage.
Here's Barnett. Baylor defending. At the clock, winding down. The rebound by Wilt Chamberlain. Chamberlain got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And the only one who came close to Chamberlain in rebounding was Bill Russell.
Yeah, those two really in a class by themselves, guys. I mean, both averaged over 22 rebounds a game. And, they lead the next closest leaders in terms of rebound average. They lead them by 6 a game. That just shows you how remarkable they were in rebounding the ball.
A different look for New York. DeBusschere comes in for Jackson. And Monroe subbed in for Frazier. Free throw good from Bradley.
And when you talk about Bill Bradley, guys, you talk about somebody who represented the Knicks with his intelligence, his hard work, an unbelievable player out of Princeton, drafted by the Knicks and became an integral part of those championship teams. And then, of course, later went on to become a senator from New Jersey and actually ran for president as well.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Wilt Chamberlain was a player who really changed the game, guys. I mean, literally. You look back in 1964, the league widened the key from 12 feet to 16 feet that we see today. And that was largely attributed to Wilt and his dominance in the paint area.
Well, and you talk about the rule changes due to Wilt, Clark. It was the same way with college basketball outlawing dunks for a time because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And some of these big guys were just larger than life, and it's almost like league officials didn't even know what to do about them, so they had to change the rules.
Good luck. Banks it home.
And that's what he does. I mean, he takes advantage. If you're going to play poor defense, he's going to get a hoop easily.
McMillan passes to Chamberlain. Reed covering. And that one's good by Chamberlain. Chamberlain got 13 points in the second half.
Well, you just see them taking it strong into the paint over and over again.
Yeah, that really seems to be the strategy, partner. I mean, pound it inside.
Pass to DeBusschere. From about 19 feet. Lifts up. And an emphatic dunk.
Simply tenacious play out of that young fella.
Yeah, excellent putback jam. You're right.
Well, that's what he prides himself on. Hard work under the glass.
Here's Robinson. Barnett covering. Barnett against Robinson. Stolen by DeBusschere.
Turnover starting to become a factor here, guys. They've got to reverse that trend.
We have the step back. The shot is off. And the Lakers go with it the other way. At one point, they led by 16. Knocked loose. Knicks trailed by 8. Back to Monroe. Rebound the Lakers.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebound.
Well, you have to rebound to win, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
And it's West missing. New York, they're working against the clock now. Trailing here by 8. Barnett. Reed dishes to DeBusschere. Shoots from the corner. Bullseye!
And you look at the jump shot from DeBusschere there. In his prime, he was kind of a streaky scorer, not a consistent shooter from the perimeter. But when he got it going, he could definitely be a factor at the offensive end. He had a career average of 16 points per game, so he was certainly capable.
And the Lakers with some changes. Ellis is checked in for Erickson. And it's Goodrich in for Robinson. Lucas is checked in for the Knicks. Frazier comes in for Monroe. Bradley kicks to Lucas. Plenty of space. Sherry West grabs the board. Lakers leading by 6. Ellis the pass to Chamberlain. DeBusschere on him. He goes up. The shot from the low post is good.
And the Big Dipper in complete control of the paint, dominating in there.
New York calls timeout. They're losing by 8. 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. He's guarded by Ellis. Backing down is DeBusschere. Ellis against DeBusschere. Parker in good position here to ride it out.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, if they just play smart right here, Kevin, this game's pretty much over.
It's stolen by Frazier. Goes up. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot two. It's on Jerry West.
Boy, he wanted that one. Couldn't get it to go, but he will go to the line.
You know, Steve, that was just a case of him not quite being able to get it to go his way.
This may be their most important possession.
Yeah, as long as they don't make a mistake here, they should be safe.
And that one misses.
Shooting for Los Angeles, Wilt Chamberlain.
Frazier with it. Defended by West. West against Frazier. It's blocked. Now West. And they go to the intentional foul. Sinks the first of 3, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Makes number 2, and it's an 8-point ballgame. New York calls timeout. They're trailing by 8. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, the timeout isn't going to save the game, but at least they can talk over a little bit of strategy.
Well, Steve, I mean, one way to look at it is if you've got them, you might as well use them.
Here's Frazier. Dead on target. And here is Ellis. Good ball movement. Here's Goodrich. Yes, and a nice assist from Chamberlain. And the Lakers lead by 8.
And this one's pretty much wrapped up.
And they know it. I mean, took care of business. Chalk it up as a W, Steve.
Puts it up off the inbound. Misses the shot. And so the Lakers take the win.
Well, the hometown crowd making their presence felt. It was an uphill battle all the way for the Knicks.
An exciting game, but in the end, the Lakers were too much for them.
Well, thanks for joining us for this look back at the best of NBA history, including the great Wilt Chamberlain. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and the whole crew, Kevin Harlan saying good night from Los Angeles.